Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm just going to do a small update video like I mentioned in the last video, go over some gear and some passive changes. I've also started a guide on mobalytics because I was asked to do a written guide, so I'll have that in the link below the video. That's going to be getting constantly updated as well, but here's what we're rocking with. So we ended up buying a new helmet. We got the max mana, dual res, life regen, and then we got some rarity on it. If you don't know, rarity is really strong right now. I haven't put anything into the socket yet because I don't want to put a res rune or something like that and then change another piece of gear. And so we're just leaving it blank for right now. And then same with boots. We got the movement speed, energy shield, max mana, dual res, life regen, and empty socket. All the other gear has stayed the same, so we haven't really adjusted that at all. Now going into the passive skill tree, we've made some changes. We got rid of these mana regen right here. Specifically the raw mana node. 10% increased mana cost of skills was really messing up our mana. This wasn't really worth the point because we can't stack too much mana on this build, so just wasn't worth the node. And then Ether Flow is reduced mana while stationary. When we combo our boss with the Orb of Storms and Mana Tempest, we're kind of sitting still in that, so that didn't feel good for bosses specifically. And then we took this node, the gain 5% lightning damage is extra cold damage. I know I mentioned that I didn't think it was worth it in the last build, but I think with the extra increased shock plus that, it really helps our boss damage because the boss was a bit slower than what I wanted it to be. Then we came down here, we picked up these mana regen nodes instead. And then I don't remember what we had exactly in the last video besides those two specifically, but I do have a full guide up for the tree, and it's going to be, like I said, in the comments below. Alright guys, I just wanted to address some additional comments we had on the last video real quick, and then I'm going to cut to some footage of the breach level 82 area, which is the 6th skill point, and then the pinnacle boss for that. But real quick, the weapon, I got asked weapon and shield while we don't have one. If you don't know, in demon form, you don't benefit from the stats from these two. So that's why we don't have it. Whether that's a bug or whether that would make this way too overpowered, for some reason they decided, the stats don't apply. So that's why we don't have that. Now, I also got asked about Ming's Heart specifically, why we don't take that. And I really just think that it's hard to play around. You're losing a ton of resistance, max mana. Now, you do get extra damage as chaos, but you lose global defenses as well. And I can maintain 96 stacks without even losing health. I can get up to around 160 when I'm leeching. But I take that off, and then I have Ming's Heart on. And you'll see that my stacks, I won't be able to even maintain 96. And I believe that's just because we have so much life regen on the breach ring that it's just not worth it. So we'll probably start losing health here in a second. But we have another amulet as well that does the same thing called Chalua's Heart. It reduces your max health, which would let you potentially get more stacks. So see, we started losing our health at around, what, 89, 90 stacks there. So it's actually worse than our current ring, even though we have less max life. But yeah, that's essentially why we don't play with those items. Now, you probably could build around it if you wanted. I'm not saying that they're bad items in any way, but that's why we don't currently play with them. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and cut to that footage now.
Out of mana. Time to consume.